Welcome to The Mental Fight, a safe place to ignite hope and peace, where we talk all about authentic feelings, even in the depths of life's curveballs. I am passionate about emotional and spiritual health. Regardless of the season you are in, you are worthy, safe, heard, and loved. Together and with God, we can overcome and embrace our next joyful steps, one day at a time. Let's get started. Hi, friend. Welcome, and I am so glad you're here. This week, we're talking all about slower living and how it can improve our well being. Maybe you're always on the go, in a constant state of fatigue, stress, and anxiety. Maybe you don't even know that there's something wrong because it's a pattern, and you may not even know how to slow down or why you need to rest in your life. Or maybe you find out a little too late until you hit a point where your mind and specifically body shuts down, or when you're hit with a health issue. There will always be stress and anxiety in this world, but we can always improve how we live our lives. There was a time when I was super stressed out, all in my 20s. I didn't have any boundaries, especially when it came to work, and I often picked up shifts that I shouldn't have. I didn't care about my mental health or my sleep or my life. I thought I was young or that I could handle it. And I compared myself to others around me who did the very same thing. And it seemed normalized. I had absolutely no work-life boundaries because I didn't prioritize rest or healing in my life. I didn't have hobbies besides exercising and working my body to depletion. I left my house at 6:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't come home for another 12, 13, perhaps even 14 hours some days. I made dinner and ate, slept, and I maybe had an hour or two to myself before bed. And I would wake up and do it all over again the next day until Friday, until the weekend. And I did that on repeat for at least 2 years. I put myself through a constant state of stress, worry. I was commuting and I had a lot of stressors throughout my day as well. And it felt like I had been walking on eggshells all day throughout it all. My health declined, and so did my happiness. And so did my relationship with God, especially after being in a chronic state of anxiety nearly my whole life until that point. It was almost if I was running away from my feelings. I was giving in order to prove myself to everybody around me. But really, I didn't have anything to prove. I was used to a hectic cycle and toxic life cycle. There is a season in life for everything. Seasons of healing and hustle, but slowing down is a necessary blessing, and we need it for our souls. There's many ways we can slow down every day, or at least once a week. Small changes really do make a big difference. I have yet to conquer a morning routine that's solid and it doesn't look like what you see on Instagram or TikTok or a morning routine that seems glamorous or trendy. But again, comparison really is the root of all evil. Slowing down for you may mean doing something for you first thing in the morning. That's simple. Read, write, pray, move your body, whatever fills your cup up first. Do that. Make time for you and make time for you and God before you do anything else in the day. Even if it's drinking coffee and taking slow breaths, that's a great step. Before you wake your kids up, before you go to work, before you open up your computer or even browse your phone, take time to nurture your soul, even if that means waking up a little bit earlier. Speaking of moving your body is important, but specifically walking has so many benefits. So I challenge you to walk at least once a day. Not only is it an easy way to get exercise and move your body, but walking also releases emotions. Walking is therapeutic for me. Walking slow to moderately will increase your heart rate slowly, but will allow you to move steady for longer periods of time. Plus, being outside in nature, getting fresh air, and noticing your surroundings with all your senses is also healing. You can create a slow living playlist on your phone with music that hits your soul, instrumental music that promotes peace. And listening to music is also a great tool to get out of your mind, meditate, unwind, and breathe. Be one with yourself, be one with God. And it takes you to a place that perhaps nothing else will or can. Also, be aware of your triggers. You don't always have to reply to a text or a phone call right away, even if you're conditioned to do so or have excuses. You don't have to check social media or check your email, especially during vulnerable parts of your day. This is why having hobbies outside of technology is also beneficial. More reasons to stay off your phone is good because it's so easy to do everything on your phone. It's where we store and keep everything because it's easy. It's also a reason why I really want to read more. Physically holding a book, physically holding things rather than living solely in a digital draining world is important. I think as a society, we really need to go back to basics for our health, sanity, and of course, mental well being. and a better grasp on reality and what God wants for us. We forget the beauty of being human, the beauty of objects, and the simplicity that heals our souls. So paint, draw, read, garden, go outside in your yard and listen to the birds, listen to the wind, and read the Bible, even if you've never done it before or you are brand new to your faith journey. It's never too late. It's never too late for hobbies, new routines, new activities. And while you may not think of it as rest, it's stress reducing and it gets you outside of your state of overthinking. We become in control of what we're doing in the short term as well. And in the long term, hobbies promote restoration and better rest overall, balance overall. And lastly, spending one day of Sabbath or rest per week will tremendously impact your life. I can tell you when I don't rest well on the weekends, or at least one day a week, I'm naturally stressed and irritable from the very beginning of the week, and it trickles down throughout the rest of the week. Rest is productive, and you may not think things will get done, but they will, and you will be okay. Not only will it get done, but rest allows us to be more creative, smarter, and more productive than we would without rest. And if not, there's always tomorrow, and God will make a way, one way or another. Rest impacts how I view myself and the world around me, including my relationships and my thinking. And I know it can help you too. I often find myself not having time in my day, but I also know we make time for what we want in our lives and our priorities. And I know how important rest is, and it's a priority for me. So I remind myself when I slowly forget the power of rest and boundaries to slow down. God created seasons. He created night and day. He created us to work and rest. He created us to have balance. Sabbath is the real form of self-love and self-care because it comes from Him, and He knows what we need. Utilizing rest allows us to be better, live better, and love better. Rest allows us to live richer lives. And isn't that what we all want? Deeper relationships, more connection, more healing, and a fulfilling life. Slower living means intentional living, living in harmony with living out your purpose and many purposes while maintaining balance and mental stability. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." I pray you implement boundaries. I pray you know your limits and loads. Perhaps we need more play. Perhaps we need more prayer to decide what's working and what's not. So prioritize unplugging from your phone. Prioritized rest within your day and within your week. Even if that means waking up earlier, rearranging a few things, and creating habits and activities that fill your soul. We need to fill our cups before we can truly feel at rest. So take a nap or two, read a book or two, and spend quality time with family. We need rest just as much as we need to work. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If this encouraged you, I'd be so grateful for a rating or review. Until next time, have a wonderful week.